Good morning. I am Dr. Nidhi Tiwari, Assistant Professor English, Department of English from Sri Shankaracharya Mahavidyalaya, Junwani, Bhilai. My topic is from 4th semester, Paper 2, Indian Writings in English, Unit 3, Anita Desai's Cry the Peacock, published in the year 1963. Before moving to the topic, let us know little bit of about Anita Desai. Anita Majumdar Desai is a Sahitya Academy award-winning writer, received the award for Fire on the Mountain, published in the year 1978. She has 14 novels to her credit. As a novelist, she has been shortlisted 3 times for the Booker Prize successively in the years 1980 for Clear Light of Day, 1984 for Custody, 1999 for Fasting Feasting. She was born in Mussoorie on 24th June 1937. She is an Indian novelist and a professor in humanities at Massachusetts Institute of Technology. Anita Desai engages herself in exploring the complexities of modern Indian culture from a feminine perspective, highlighting the female Indian predicament of maintaining self-identity as an individual woman. She explores the interior landscape in place of the social and the political scenario of the Indian setup. She presents the female predicament, the conditions of her individuality, and her presence in the Indian patriarchal society. Cry the Peacock was the first novel is the first novel of the author, was published in the year 1963. The novel is also a psychological novel. Story moves from insanity to sanity and again into complete insanity. The novel is also, to some extent, it presents the Electra complex. So it is both a psychological novel presenting the psychological imbalances of the main character Maya and the Electra complex, which frames the background of the novel. Maya is the protagonist of the novel, symbolizing illusion or dreamy world, as the name suggests, Maya from the Indian scriptures. The psychic tumult of the young and married Maya frames the main story. The tumult of her life, which resulted into the psychic tumult also, that frames the main storyline from where the action actually starts and ends into. Absence of passion and love from her married life makes her neurotic and overthinker. Gautam, her husband's cold attitude towards life and love increases Maya's suffering. She was married to Gautam, and Gautam is none other than her father's friend, who is in equal, not only in age, rather in repute, like her father. So it is marriage of convenience, not of love or relation. Maya yearns for passionate love, which being symbolized by the cry of peacock. She think herself as peahen and Gautam as peacock. The cry of the peacock symbolizes, basically, the peacock cries for love making, for the passionate love making, and that's why it cries for peahen. Here Maya, because she has been dignifiedly married to Gautam, she wants to be loved by her husband only, and that's why her cry has been symbolized by the cry of peacock. And here she feels that she is peahen, waiting passionately for Gautam's call. But Gautam is equally cold, like all the other emotions of Maya, towards this call also. The story ends where she murders Gautam in a fit of frenzy and later commits suicide. So we come to the main storyline. The story starts at the point where Gautam and Maya have been married for more than 3 years. Maya is haunted by a prophecy made by an albino priest in her childhood. The prophecy said that there will be death in the marriage in the 4th year. It was like that Maya with her brother went to this an albino priest who professed that there will be a death in the marriage of Maya in the 4th year. So for the 3 years she spent her life as she could be, because the marriage was already we can say was there was no love, there was no care, there was no attention, and moreover there was no such passion from Gautam's side. So it was a mismatch for Maya. So marriage was already a tumult for her, and now this prophecy became a veil of all this tumult. Behind all this tumult, it became a veil to cover all the frustrations and the sufferings and the neurosis, loneliness, gloominess, the darkness of the marriage. So she started thinking about the prophecy again and again, though this prophecy was rejected by her father and brother in the childhood itself. Maya and her brother lost their mother at an early age. Moreover, her brother also moved to USA to carve his future. So, in a way, Maya received all the love of her father from her early childhood and attention. So, she lived a carefree life from her childhood only. It is only after her marriage with Gautam that she believed that she will be enjoying the same kind of love and attention even after her marriage, that all her dreams broke the moment she married with Gautam. She found that Gautam was not only cold, rather he is more practical towards life. There is no passion in him, no enthusiasm rather for life. Moreover, the childless marriage, because there were no child in the marriage, the childless marriage and the utter cold attitude of Gautam has created a void between them. The utter cold behavior and attitude of Gautam not only created a void, it also created a miscommunication between the couple. And because there was lack of communication, there was no such communication, their marriage suffered a lot. Rather, they were two individuals living under common roof. Gautam has been a little sensitive towards Maya. Had he been a little sensible towards Maya, the tragic end could have been changed. Maya's only dignified hope for love was Gautam, who had no love for or passion for Maya. The prophecy was but an excuse, as I have told you, and that's why she became more lonely and frenzy in absence of proper care and attention that she could have get from Gautam, or from mother of Gautam, or maybe from his sister. But none of the character took enough interest to take care of Maya's interior interior frustrations and her gloominess. She moved into more deeper caves of her gloominess. So, in a uh, fit of frenzy, in a fit of anger, she murders Gautam and later commits suicide. The tragic end was a result of the utter loneliness that Maya was going through. There are so many causes of death in the novel. The first is Maya had received much love and attention from her father, whereas Gautam showers no such love. So there is just opposite of what she has received before the marriage and after the marriage. So one possible reason is this. The second is the occasional comment. The society always, as we have learned that in the postmodern world, society is the main villain. So here also, society is a villain, maybe a smaller one, but it is a cause for death. So occasional comments regarding their difference of ages, regarding absence of a child, fruitless marriage. So there were so many comments from the society which also made Maya an overthinker. Gautam's practical and cold attitude towards Maya. This is also one of the reason, rather main reason was this only. Maya's own thoughts and fears. She had her own thoughts and fear in her minds, which also made her think more often, and remained in a complete solitude, and because of which there was again lack of communication. Her previous dreamy and carefree attitude towards life, her own attitude was quite carefree before marriage, childless marriage, and lack of communication, as we have discussed. And the last is the neurotic condition of Maya, which could have been easily solved if there was a little communication between Maya and Gotham. So there are symbols in the fiction. The novel is full of symbols. The cry itself is a symbol, where the cry of peacock represents Maya's internal cry for love and passion which she wants from Gotham. The cry intensifies with each cold and utter practical attitude of Gotham. Gotham's cold behavior increased her frustration, and there was no such gratification from Gotham. His incapacity to understand Maya creates a wall between them. Maya lives alone in her isolation, which increases neurosis. She completely lived in her isolation. Rather, she remained aloof from rest of the world. So she was living in different world. The other people were living in the different world. There were two different worlds in the same house. Maya's love for a child has been symbolized where she cries on the death of her pet dog Toto. Toto, where the novels open where the Toto has died, and she cries inconsolably over the death of that pet dog, which Gotham finds that there is no reason to cry upon a dog, but she feels that Toto was almost like her child. Her daydreaming and hallucinations have been symbolized by her love towards the night sky. Because of her loneliness and gloominess, she became a daydreamer, and the hallucination which has been symbolized also with that the love for the gaze of the night sky, the continuous watch towards the night sky, which was also a symbol of depression that she was going through. Psychological fiction and Electra complex. The novel is both psychological fiction and a complex story. Maya's character goes from many folds, from a charming, chirpy girl to a loner, from doting wife to a murderer. She was definitely a loving wife, but later on she changed into murderer. She became rather a murderer. Fondly loved Maya grows into dreamy, illusionary young woman. Her marriage was marriage of convenience than of love. She was never loved. She never received love in her marriage, and because of which her marriage was a suffering. She was suffering in the marriage. It was rather a frustration for her, and Gotham was her father surrogate. So Gotham here is father surrogate. The father surrogate term has been used deliberately here for the reason that it seems that Maya had some feeling for her father, and because he was her father, so there was no such bond between her and him. And when she replaced her father with Gotham, she had this bond with Gotham also, but at the same time, because of the age of Gotham and because of his cold and practical attitude, the marriage again suffered. Maya finds Gotham an extremely cold and practical man towards both life and love. The over dramatic thoughts of her brought her near to the over dramatic Anne. She was definitely an over dramatic character, and that's why the end is also over dramatic. So we conclude the fiction where the novel is a brave attempt of the author in her very first fiction, because it is a psychological and first Indian fiction on Electra complex theme. The novel is a fine work and also an example of psychoanalysis of a character, and it has been done with the character Maya. The novel has some loop points too, where Maya, an overthinker, ponders continuously about the prophecy, but she never narrates the same to her husband. It is very strange that though she was suffering, though she was going through all these uh, thoughts of death in the marriage, but she never uh, discussed this with Gotham. Though she was discussing all her thoughts with Gotham, knowingly or unknowingly, but she never discussed the root cause with her husband. which is very strange. Also, the same prophecy has been rejected by her father. She used to love her father a lot. She used to follow whatever her father has said, but at the same time, when her father rejected this prophecy, she had no other point, but she rather kept this thought in her mind and she remained thinking about the same thing. Overall, the story has been finely knit, taking the support of Indian myths and folklore, making thus the story nearer to the Indian soil and thoughts. The inner voice and effects of past actions have also been beautifully presented through the main characters. So the fiction ends here as Anita Desai explores the interior landscape. It has been beautifully explored even in this fiction. Thank you. Good day.